Hello everyone, this is Yasir Khan, and I just wanted to first thank you for joining me on this video. Uh, Now first things first, this is going to be a fairly long video because once again I will be covering everything that you need to know in order to grow your revenue, whether if you'd like to double your revenue, quadruple your revenue, multiply it by 5 times, I pretty much have you covered, okay? So you can expect this video to last for at least 90 to 100 minutes, so just over 1.5 hours. I've tried to shorten down the content as much as I possibly could, but there just are some strategies and some very important things that you as a practice owner needs to understand in order to increase your revenue. So this video will take a little bit of time, but I promise you that it's going to be packed full of information. And this just might be the guide that you need to transform your dental office, and I'm not just saying that, and you will soon understand why. So once again, this is the ultimate guide, and I haven't used these words lightly. I really believe that this is pretty much an exhaustive guide if you want to increase your revenue. And frankly, I haven't seen anything across the web which goes into such lengths to explain how your business processes inside your dental office should be working. Okay, so I'm very confident that this is going to give you a lot of value, and in the interest of time, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you probably will be wondering is, who am I and why should you be listening to me in the first place? And I get it, there's so many people out there claiming different sorts of things, and there just isn't enough information to judge those people or businesses by. So that's why I'd like to give you a little bit of introduction as to who I am and how I can potentially help you out. So I've been self-employed for the last 10 years. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an investor. I'm the CEO and founder of Quantum SEO, Promote Law, Promote Dental, and Wealth Kept. And by the way, if you're watching this presentation, you are getting content which is related to Promote Dental. Okay, my companies have generated just over $2.5 million in the last 10 years, and I created my first business at the age of 23, which was 10 years ago, and I've spent at least $219,000 on my own education and research and trial and error. Okay, so over the last 10 years, I've generated over 12,000 leads for different businesses for my clients, and I've generated over 450,000 visitors for different kinds of businesses, retail stores, well, not retail stores, but e-commerce stores, dentists, lawyers, different kinds of small business owners. I've pretty much done it for most of them, if not all of them. I've been featured on Entrepreneur, Business Insider, PayScale, Glassdoor, and many other websites, and I've probably read over 250 books on entrepreneurship, personal development. I've been to countless seminars, different conventions, pretty much everything you have to do as an entrepreneur to see your business succeed. Okay, I'm also the author of the Dental Marketing Blueprint. You can see what the book looks like on the right. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you received my physical package, and the package includes the book as well. So please go through the book because I'm very sure it's going to give you a lot of value, okay? Raw value, which is going to help you dominate your city and come across as the #1 authority in your niche, which is dentistry, right? So yeah, once again, I specialize in online marketing and conversions. When I say conversions, it's just a fancy word for getting people to do what you as the business owner wants them to do. So for example, someone who comes in and pays you for treatment, that's a conversion because they helped you further your goal. Okay, so we specialize in conversions. And I simply love mapping out systems and strategies for dental practices so they can increase profits. I simply love what I do. Okay, I look at mapping out systems as a puzzle. It's not exactly the easiest job in the world. It requires some trial and error and a lot of patience, but when you get the results, they are well worth the effort. And the last thing I want to tell you is that whatever I discuss with you, whatever I tell you in the video, in the book, in the video series, It is not theory, okay? Because you probably have a very good idea that theory, whatever's written in the books, and whatever happens in the real world can be, at times, it could be day and night, right? So I tell you what I do, and I don't discuss theory, all right? So who this is for? So basically this video and the book and pretty much everything you see on my website and on YouTube and on my channel is related to it's for business owners. It's for dental practice owners. All right. So if you own a dental practice, you are at the right place. Even if you're an office manager, it's going to show you really good results because it makes you indispensable, because you'll be able to grow the dental office. So once again, anyone who is interested in making a practice grow should watch this video. So let's go a little more into it. This is for you if you're sick and tired of wearing 100 different hats. If you're a practice owner, you can probably relate to this, right? Every single day you're running around trying to do lots of things at the same time and it exhausts you. If you're tired of working long hours and badly need a break, if you are mentally and emotionally exhausted. I've talked to many dentists who are really exhausted. They're making very decent income, but it's a lot of stress. And they're multitasking to such a point that they're trying to get out of this vicious cycle, if you will. Okay? This is for you if you want to spend more time doing what you actually want. So spending time with family, friends, pursuing your hobbies, whatever you want to do. This is for you if you'd like to at least double your dental practice's revenue. Okay? And if you'd like to start another practice in 2 to 5 years. Okay? So here is what you will learn. The first thing is that you will understand how to live your ideal lifestyle. You didn't become a dentist to be overworked and stressed out all the time and running around all the time, right? So in this video, I will discuss how you can create a balance between your work life and your personal life, okay? The idea here is that you should be earning more money, making more money while working less. And I know it sounds really counterintuitive, but I'll explain more about this, how to do this later on in this video. So I explain how you can live your ideal lifestyle. You will learn how to double your practice's revenue. You will learn how to become the #1 expert in your space, and I don't say it lightly. And you will understand what it takes to work less and make more money, okay? So why dental offices? A lot of people ask me this question, and there are many different answers to this question. So I just want to go a little deeper into it. The first thing is, most dentists don't understand how to bring in more patients on demand. It really is the truth. It might not be true for you, but statistically, it really is the truth, okay? And for that reason, they're relying mainly on referrals, all right? Most dentists are not tracking their marketing expenses and return on investment. Most dentists have a lot of leaks in their offices, causing them to lose thousands of dollars every week without realizing it. You might think your dental office does not have leaks. I can guarantee that you do. Okay, I've never come across a dental office where they weren't losing money in some shape or form, even those offices which were really profitable. They're still losing money because their processes are not optimal. Okay, and we discussed this more in the video. And nearly all dental offices are using the same old marketing strategies: Google AdWords, postcards, radio ads. Whatever they were doing 10 or 20 years ago, they're still probably doing it. Okay? And the issue is that they keep spending more and more money on these avenues, but they show them minimal results. And they start losing money, and it cuts down into their profit margins, right? So, I also know of dentists who are spending over $10,000 per month on Google AdWords and were not tracking expenses and ROI. I know dentists who had just bought a new practice from someone and had been ripped off. Okay? And I know dentists who were not sure how to bring in more patients even though they had a database of 1,500 active patients. I'm going to go into how to reconnect with your patients, get them to come in multiple times a year for 7 to 30 years, okay? And just keep the revenue coming in. So here's the thing. because I got to know all of this, I realized I could remedy all these issues, and that's why I decided to work with dentists. Said another way, I personally feel that dental offices can make a lot more money, they can generate a lot more revenue if they implement the processes and systems, okay, to increase productivity. And because I was sure I could bring a lot of value to dentists, I pretty much entered this niche and I started working with dentists. So now that you have a background of who I am, what I do, and how I help dentists, let's get started, okay? So once again, the idea is to help you at least double your revenue. Yes, it's going to take some time and effort and everything, but it's very much possible, okay? And I also want to help you become the #1 authority in your city. So let's get started. Element number 1, determine your ideal lifestyle. You might think determining your lifestyle is not important, but I am going to tell you that this is by far the most important thing you should first be doing, because it is a benchmark of whatever happens next, okay? So currently you're probably overwhelmed with the daily task. You're trying to figure out which equipment to buy and how much to spend on it. You're trying to keep your staff happy. Sometimes it's a hassle, right? Sometimes it's not that easy. You're trying to keep tabs on the AdWords guy. You have no idea what that person is doing. You're trying to attend to patients. You're catering to, you're pacifying angry and anxious patients and upset patients. And all of this means that you are working in your business as opposed to on it, okay? There's a big distinction between the two. They're not the same at all, okay? The top dental offices work on their business, okay? I'm gonna go into that later on as well, but here's the thing, because you're so busy and you don't have the time for luxuries such as thinking over what to do next and how to do it and what kind of goals to pursue, you might have lost your ideal lifestyle in this extremely busy schedule, right? And the result is that you simply cannot give time to things which are actually important. Family, your friends, your hobbies, okay? So I'd like to ask you to ask yourself a question, okay? Just ask yourself, what do I really want in life? What kind of monthly income am I actually happy with? How many days do I want to work per week? What do I want to be doing while I'm not working? What kind of patients do I want to work with? What kind of car do I want to drive? How many vacations do I want to take every year? How many days a week do I want to spend with my family? And what kind of stress do I want to put up with, right? If you can't determine this, then whatever I'm going to tell you next won't make a lot of sense, because then your priorities will be a little off. So please take some time to think about it. What do you really want? For some dentists, they want to work less and they want to do something else. Other dentists, they really enjoy what they're doing. They love being at the office and attending to patients, right? So what do you want? Every person is different. So please answer these questions and determine your lifestyle statement. It could, and take some time to think about it. It could be something like, I want to work 3 days a week, make $18,000 a month, spend the rest of the time with my wife and 2 kids, or my partner and 2 kids, drive a Mercedes C-Class, okay? Avoid too much stress, because as you know, stress is not good for health. Hire an associate so they can take care of many or most of the patients coming in, and travel around the world. This could be your lifestyle statement, or it could not be. It depends on what you want. This is just an example. Please pause this video, okay, and really think about your lifestyle statement, the ideal lifestyle that you would like to pursue, and write it down, okay? Trust me, if you write it down as opposed to just remember it, just keep it in mind, you will see better results. All right? The reason why we want you to write the lifestyle statement down is because whatever we do after this, coincides directly with your lifestyle statement. Even on the consult call, if we decide to go ahead with the consult, I'll ask you, what do you want? And what are the challenges? And then you would probably tell me, well, I would like this to be my lifestyle. And then I can say, well, we can do this to help you achieve this or that. So please write your statement down and take as much time as you need. You can pause this video, okay? And watch it again. It's not an issue. Okay, now assuming that you've written down your ideal lifestyle statement, here's how you live your ideal lifestyle. The first thing to understand is to stop working inside your practice and to start working on it. For some of you, that might not be possible. You can't just stop working in your practice. Well, then I would say minimize the time you spend personally working inside your practice and start working on it. I'm going to go into details about this later. Hire the right people and incentivize them for good work. Okay? Actively work to increase the lifetime value of all your patients. If you do nothing else, and if you increase the lifetime value of your patients, you will double your revenue. I'm going to talk about this later in this video. Focus on procedures where you make the most money. You would be surprised to know that most of the procedures, most of the patients who come in are more of a time drain on you and your staff than the money they bring in. I'm going to discuss this further as well later on. Set up systems which automate tasks. Most, at least 90% of dental offices don't have any kinds of systems. And by the way, no, the practice management software that the front desk uses, it is a system, but it's not as sophisticated as you might think it is. Okay? It doesn't help you out with a lot of the processes which should be implemented for your office. I'm going to discuss this later too. Set up systems which bring in patients on autopilot. We do this for our clients. So yes, this is all you need to do in order to live your ideal lifestyle. Remember, the top dental offices are using something a lot more sophisticated compared to every other dental office. Okay? All right, let's move to element number 2. Eliminate money leaks. Now, I've been able to talk to many dentists, right? We've done some video calls with them. It's taken me around 250 to 300 hours of research into the dental niche to really figure out what the challenges are and what dentists really want. And here's the thing, every single dental office has money leaks. You could be generating $50,000 a month or $150,000 a month. You still have money leaks. There are no exceptions. And because of that, your profit margins go down and your overhead keeps creeping up. Okay, so I'm going to discuss money leaks in this segment. So the most common money leaks are spending $5,000 to $20,000 per month in advertising, but not tracking the ROI. And in my experience, at least, most dentists are doing this. They're not tracking the ROI. Either they're not tracking it or their marketing team is not tracking it. And the potential leak is 70% of your advertising budget every single month. You're losing this money. Okay? Hiring front desk staff which aren't helping your cause. Potential leak is $1,000 to $25,000 per month. And by the way, these are conservative numbers. A receptionist who does not call leads back within 5 minutes. I have almost never seen a dental office call people back within 5 minutes. The potential leak is $5,000 and $20,000 per month. The top dental offices are very quick with follow-ups. Very quick. Not being able to tell where a specific prospect is in your sales cycle. Potential leak is $10,000 a month. You might not think of your dental office as a business because you're there to provide care to the patients who come in, but it is a business, which means that you should be looking at the numbers. The numbers need to make sense. You have to run it like a business or you will lose money. Okay? Having bad reviews on Google Local. Potential leak is $10,000 to $30,000 per month. A lot of dental offices are guilty of this. I'm going to discuss this further later. Not having video case studies of happy clients. The potential leak is $10,000 to $20,000 per month. Not having a marketing team which has an incentive to increase your revenue, and they just get paid for the work that they do. This happens all the time. You keep paying for the marketing team, they're not doing a whole lot for you, they're just managing stuff for you, they're not increasing your revenue, and it makes you lose money. Relying only on referrals and making no attempt to bring in new patients through marketing. Around 70% of dental offices are guilty of this. The potential leak is $20,000 to $50,000 per month, and please remember, these are conservative numbers. Okay? Most dental offices rely on referrals because they can't market themselves properly to get new patients. This might be you, or it might not be, I don't know. But this is what I've seen. Referrals are great, they make you money, but if you want to double your revenue, you have to market yourself the right way to bring people in. Not having a website where prospects can book appointments online. Potential leak is $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Leasing out a huge office and using only 50% of the space available. I know many people who have done this. Okay, they're using only half of the space available. They're losing $5,000 to $8,000 or probably $10,000 a month because they keep paying for the lease and they're not able to use it. These money leaks are present in your dental office as well. Please understand that, okay? You might think that you have really sophisticated systems, but I guarantee you that if we get on the call, I'd be able to pinpoint at least 3 leaks in your office, irrespective of how much money you're making right now. So, how do you fix these leaks? You fix them by first identifying them, which I can help you out with as well. Then you meet with your staff and tell them what's going on, and then accurately track the results after changes are made. It sounds simple, but it's a little bit more involved, okay? And this is where we come in. We help our clients manage all of this. We manage it for them, so they don't have to, right? We track everything. We track the costs. We implement the systems. And we get all the marketing going, so you make more money and you save more money. So once money leaks are eliminated, you will save $8,000 to $20,000 more in profit, either make or save, right? In profit every month. And that's a big chunk of cash, right? Okay, so we talked a little bit about money leaks, and now let's move on to maximizing the lifetime value of your patients. This is a very important segment. Now, the first question is, do you know what the lifetime value of your patients is? Statistically, around 80% of dentists don't know the answer to that question, okay? Because they are not looking at the lifetime value of any of their patients, they're just looking at the transactional value. So whenever I ask them, I say, hey doc, do you know what the lifetime value of your patients is? They say, well, yeah, it's around $400 or $600 or $800, and that is totally wrong. And if you get this wrong, your business model will be way off, your costs will dramatically increase, and your profit margins will go down. See, the lifetime value of your patient is how much they will spend with you over the years they do business with you, okay? It could be 7 to 10 years, it could be 20 years, it could be 30 years. I know people who've been going to the same dental practice, to the same dentist for 40 years, okay? And they take a lot of pride in that. They say, I love this dentist, I'm gonna keep going to this guy because he really cares about me, okay? So the lifetime value, if you're a general dentist, it's somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000. If you are in cosmetic dentistry, it's $8,000 to $15,000. If you do full mouth reconstruction, it's $20,000 to $45,000 or even more, depending on the work that is needed. If you're an orthodontist, $6,000 to $14,000. Now, once again, these are estimates. It could be different for you, but the ballpark pretty much remains the same. Okay? So here's here's what you should understand. Your business, and by the way, your practice is a business. Okay? So your business should be based on the lifetime value of your patients and not the transactional value. Okay? The top dental practices always focus on the lifetime value of their patients. They have a totally different business model. Okay? And that's why they crush the competition and dominate the entire marketplace. So please don't think along these lines. If I can spend $300 to get one new patient and they come in and they spend $600 with me, I have made some money. Many dentists are they're guilty of thinking like this, and it really hampers their growth. Okay? You should be thinking like this. I'd like to spend $300 to get one new patient. It will be really profitable for me because this patient will spend $7,000 with me over the next 7 to 10 years and will also refer his friends or family to me. This proposition is what makes you the money. All right? Can you see the difference here? Please understand that whenever you bring in a new patient, assuming that you've done a good job, that person will stick around for a long time. Remember, the top dental offices have people coming in for the last 30 to 40 years. They drive 1 or 2 hours to go to the same dentist because they love going to that dentist. They trust the dentist and the staff. Now, does it make sense for you to spend $300 to $400 to get one new patient when they're worth $7,000? I think the answer in the vast majority of cases would be yes, especially if you're offering something specialized, right? Okay, so how do you calculate the lifetime value of your patients? The first thing to understand is that you will never be able to calculate the exact LTV, and that's okay. All you need is an estimate. So how do you do it? The first thing is to look through your patient database and take 3 patients who've been coming into your office frequently for the last 7 to 10 years. And you can easily find this out by talking to your front desk or reviewing your records. Figure out how much they spent in the last 7 to 10 years. And let's say the amount was $6,300 or $6,000 or $8,000 or $20,000, right? And that is what the lifetime value of each of your patients is. Okay? This is how simple it is. This is how simple it is to figure out what the lifetime value is. Please make sure that you run this exercise with your staff because if you don't do it, you're losing a lot of money. All right, let's move to element number 4, which is optimizing the core functions of your business. So this is where we talk about everything you need to do in order to make your business run like a well-oiled machine. And once again, you might think you're using very efficient processes, but in my humble opinion, there could be a lot of room for improvement, okay? The first thing to understand is the 3% rule, which says that only 3% of people inquiring about your services will say yes to treatment right now. Okay? Only 3%. Around 10% of them will, they're gathering information and will come back in the next 14 to 30 days. The remaining 87% are kind of interested and might come in for treatment in 1 month to over 6 months. Here's the thing. It is these 97% of people who are wildly neglected. All the businesses, for the most part, go after the 3% of people who want to buy right now. And that's why it ends up being this vicious cycle where you don't make a lot of money and you have to put in a lot of effort to increase revenue. Okay? The top dental offices know that the vast majority of people, most people, 97% of them, will not buy right now, will not come in for treatment right now, but they might come in 3 or 6 months down the road if they keep hearing from you, if they like what you have to say, and if they can see your presence, both offline and online. And I'm going to discuss this in more detail soon. So here's a groundbreaking piece of research that could literally turn your practice around. 80% of sales happen on the 7th to 12th contact. Okay? In your case, as a dentist, sales would be when someone comes in and pays you for treatment, right? So in other words, your practice will generate a lot more revenue if each of your prospects hear from you at least 7 to 12 times within a short period of time. This is exactly how the top businesses in any vertical, in any market, make a lot of money. They put themselves in front of their audience. Okay? All right, let's move on to the patient journey. This is really, really important because it is a kind of a, it's centralized to what you do as a practice owner. Okay, so the patient journey is how people go from just looking around, okay, or just checking things out, just wanting to know more, to yes, I'd like to get my treatment started right now. Okay, 92% of dental practices fail to provide an ideal patient journey, or they even know that there is one. Okay, the vast majority of dental offices don't know that there is something called a patient journey. Okay, so what exactly is a patient journey? The patient journey is going from taking someone from being a prospect to being an appointment to coming in for a consult and to finally closing them. Okay, it sounds simple, and for the most part it is, but it's a little bit more involved. So this is what it looks like. When people are just prospects, they have shown interest. They're saying, well, yeah, I'd like to learn more. They're calling your front desk and saying, do you guys treat this over here? I might want to come in. That person is a prospect. Down the road, that person might become an appointment. So your front desk would call them and say, would you like to come in at this time? And they would say, yes, I'd very much like to. After that, if that person actually shows up for the appointment, it turns into a consult, right? Because they've physically shown up for that particular appointment. And if they decide to go for your treatment that you prescribed, they are a patient. In other words, you have closed them. Okay? Now, I do understand this is business terminology, but once again, your dental practice is a business. Okay? And this is very similar across every single business out there. So, let me give you an example. Let's say that you have 100 prospects, people who are calling your front desk, leaving a message on your site to be contacted, all that stuff. Around 50 of them should become appointments if your front desk calls them back within 5 minutes of them showing interest. Okay, this is the part when you call them up and book them in and they say, yes, I'm gonna come in for the appointment. Okay, out of those, 20 will actually come in, which means that you will get 30 no-shows. This is usually the case when you start out, okay? When not a lot of people know about your reputation, when you aren't dominating the marketplace. And out of the 20 who actually come in for the consults, 3 to 10 will go ahead with the treatment and contribute to your revenue. Okay, this is what the patient journey is, and that's why you might feel a little upset when you carry out any type of marketing. You might say, well, 100 people showed interest, but not all of them have come in for treatment. Yes, they will not come in for treatment. In fact, in most cases, not more than 10% of them will come in for treatment, and that's okay. If you have 10% of people coming in for treatment and paying you, I'm going to tell you that you can dominate your entire marketplace in a couple of years. Okay, because it almost never happens. I'm going to discuss this in detail soon. So, you might be wondering, why do some people not show up for appointments? Why does that happen? Because it costs you time and money when someone makes an appointment and doesn't show up, right? As a practice owner, I know you can relate to this. So here are some reasons. They looked around and they found a better deal. Okay? They talked to their friends and decided not to go ahead with you. They read some negative reviews. This one is big. They read some negative reviews on Google about your practice and decided not to show up. However, the biggest reason is that they simply didn't find a lot of value in what you were offering. Right? They just didn't see a lot of value, probably because you did not convey that message to them. Even if you offer a free consult, you should tell them what the dollar value is and how important it is for them to show up for the consult. Tell them what's in it for them, and you will see an increase in the show rates. All right, so of the 20 people out of 100 who do show up in the example I just discussed, they might have some objections. First of all, they might not even have the money or insurance, right? Especially if if you're prescribing them a specialized treatment such as Invisalign or crowns or implants, all that stuff. Please remember, depending on where your dental office is, some people might not have the money. Okay, so they will back out. Secondly, they think the treatment will be painful. You can keep telling them that the treatment will not cause a lot of pain, but ultimately people will believe what they want to believe, because in the dental niche, a lot of people don't know much about different procedures. Okay, people don't know enough about dentistry, and because of that, they have fears. Or number three, they simply might have reassessed and decided not to go ahead. So in the end, only 3 to 10 out of those people, 20 people who showed up for the consult, might actually go ahead with the treatment. And I'm going to tell you right now that these numbers are totally fine. In fact, you can become the top dental practice in your city using these numbers. Okay, so please don't worry about it. Okay, let me give you an orthodontist example, and I'm sorry about this slide, it's a little messed up. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm gonna read it out for you so it is easier for you to understand. So let's assume that each Invisalign treatment that you do generates $5,000 in revenue for you. Now for some of you it might be $4,500, for some of you it might be $8,000. It really depends, but let's take $5,000. Now in a certain month, you see that your ad budget is $1,500, okay? You get 75 leads, and the cost per lead is $20, okay? Now, because you get 75 leads and your front desk is really good at calling people back really fast, you book 37 appointments out of the 75 people who showed interest, which is roughly half, 50%. Now, the consults are the number of people who actually come in. Remember, the appointment section is people who said, yes, I'd like to come in, book me in. And consults are the number of people who actually came in. So 18 out of 37, which is once again 50%, they come in. But only 5 patients are closed, which means that they say, yes, I'm going to pay you for the treatment. Let's get the treatment started. I'm really excited. I want a better smile, all that stuff. Okay, so 5 out of 18. Now, what this means is that the cost to acquire one new patient in this example is $300, because remember, we spent $1,500 and we got 5 patients out of it, right? So it's $300 per patient. And the revenue generated per patient, once again, is $5,000, which is a conservative number, but that's okay for this example. So the total revenue generated is $25,000, right? In other words, you spent $1,500 in the ads, on ads, to generate $25,000. And I understand that you have many other costs as well. I get it. Okay, but for the sake of this example, we're just trying to keep everything simple. Now, here's the thing. This could turn really profitable for you, but it doesn't include the value of referrals. Someone who you have helped with their smile and their self-esteem in the form of an Invisalign treatment, don't you think they're going to refer other people to you? They will, right? Because you have helped them become a more confident person. So this example does not include the value of referrals, and when we add this in, the lifetime value can pretty much skyrocket, right? Okay. Now, you might be saying, well, these numbers look good, but I don't think they're going to work for my practice. I want to tell you that these results are realistic if, and only if, you have streamlined your approach and have implemented systems which keep bringing patients back to your dental office. The vast majority of dental offices do not have a streamlined system at all. Okay? And that's why they can't see these kinds of results. Right? And this is where we come in. We implement everything for you so you don't have to worry about any of this. So here's the thing. If you want to double your revenue, you have to master the patient journey. Not just you, but your staff, your front desk especially, and actively implement it in your practice. For our clients, we do all of this. Okay? So we take care of all of this for them. And this is how you double your revenue. If you think that you can double your revenue or increase your revenue without doing this, all of this that I've just mentioned, trust me, you'll have a very hard time seeing results. And unfortunately, most dental practices fall into that trap. Okay, in order to be successful, you have to invest in your infrastructure. There's no other way about it. Okay, that brings me to another very important segment, which is about selecting the right marketing team. If you have a bad marketing team which is not doing its job properly, then they're gonna lose you money. They're not gonna make you money. So you should select your marketing team the right way. Many dentists select on the basis of the work the team does and not on the basis of results. Okay, so someone comes along and they say, well, I can manage your website or your AdWords account or your Yelp account or Yellow Pages account or this and that. And the dentist says, yes, okay, fine. I don't want to do this myself. Please take care of it. You manage it. But what does manage really mean? The only reason you should be hiring someone is if they add value to your practice, right? And if they make you money. So ask your marketing team, how has their efforts made you money? Ask them for monthly reports. And if they can't provide you this, that means that even they don't know how they're helping you out. At least 80% of marketing companies out there will charge you for the work that they do. Okay? Please make sure that you select the right marketing team to work with. And that is why when clients decide to work with us, we make sure that we track all the numbers. So every 1 month we can show it to them and say, well, this is how it's working. We might want to change this and this and this to show you better results. Okay? This is very important. Okay, let's move on ahead. So another very important aspect of running your dental office is to understand that your front desk could be killing your business. And I have nothing against front desk people. In fact, I really like many of them. Okay, they're really nice people. They try to do their job the best they can. But here's the thing, from a business owner point of view, if your front desk is good, they're going to bring in more revenue. If they're not good at what they do, they're actively hurting your brand and making you lose money. So first of all, you're paying for their salary every month, and in many cases, they might be making you lose money. And I'm going to talk more about that soon. Many people at the front desk don't promptly call leads back. They might be lazy or rude on the phone. I've seen this happen many times. And a dead giveaway of this is to just check out your Google reviews. You would be shocked at some of the Google reviews that you might be getting. And mostly people would be saying, well, the front desk receptionist, Jill or Teresa, or whoever they might be, she was rude to me. She didn't call me back. She didn't even hear me out. You'll get these kinds of comments, and it should tell you a lot more about your front desk. Okay? And once again, this could be a major money leak for your practice. Right? So, whenever I sign on a new dentist as a client, I always go to their website, fill out my information, and check to see if the dental office is going to call me back. 70% of the time, it normally takes them 2 to 4 days to call me back. This is especially the case over the weekends. 30% of the time, I don't even get a call back. Right? I don't even get a call back 30% of the time. Very rarely do I get an email from them. And as far as I can recall, I've never received a text from any dental office intending to follow up with me. Ever. Okay? So there's a lot that we can potentially do in terms of your front desk. We can train them, and we do train the front desk. We work directly with them to see what's going on, how we can help them bring in more patients. We do all of this for our clients. All right, so here's a checklist for the front desk to see if they're really good at what they do, or if they might be costing you money. Are they even interested in working there? Okay. If someone's not interested, if their heart is not in something, then they won't be good at it. Okay. Are they cheerful? Do they go out of their way to accommodate people? Do they frequently have bad days? Can they listen to constructive feedback? As a front desk individual, They should be outgoing, they should be polite, they should have good listening skills, all of this stuff, right? And if unfortunately you find that some of your front desk people don't meet your expectations, you can talk to them, you can give them one chance, you can explain your situation and your expectations, and if that doesn't work out, you can let them go, because ultimately it's your business and you don't want your business to lose money, okay? So another way to make sure that you plug money leaks is to listen to your Google reviews. And I've been very careful with this word. I didn't say read your Google reviews. I said listen to them. Okay? If you have even a single bad review on Google, you are losing business. You're losing more business than you can probably think. See, as a dental office, you might be a business, but it's a different kind of business. The trust factor over here carries much more weight than it does in other businesses, which means that if someone leaves you a bad review saying that, well, the dentist was incompetent and was not polite, etc., etc., you can be sure that a lot of people who had initially wanted to give you their business would go somewhere else. For sure, no question about it. Because people don't leave their mouths to dentists they don't trust, okay? And your front desk has a direct impact on negative reviews, because remember, whenever someone wants to come in, they're not going to call you. They're going to call the front desk. And how your front desk talks to them reflects directly upon you. Okay? Not most, but many of the dentists I talk to, they don't read the Google reviews at all, because once again, they're so busy working in their practice. And the last time they might have gone through the reviews was a year ago. Normally it's their office manager or their front desk staff which reads the review, and your employees simply don't have that much of an incentive to respond to Google reviews positively the way you would. Okay, so you should read the reviews and answer them yourself, because you are the practice owner. All right. And most people will be upset by bad front desk staff. I've already gone through that. I've explained that to you. They'll also be upset with the wrong treatment being prescribed, treatment being too costly, and the dentist not being professional. Okay. So whenever you get a negative reviews, you should respond to them personally. Don't rely on your staff to do that. You should be the one doing it. Be polite, explain your situation, and then just get the person to call the office so you can resolve their problem. It's very simple. All right. And this should take care of the money leak which arises from neglecting your Google reviews. Okay, and it could add up to thousands of dollars every single week. Let's move forward. Use simple language on your website. Most people don't understand dentistry, and frankly, most people honestly don't care about their oral health or their teeth or their gums. It just isn't a priority. I know that it should be a priority, but unfortunately, it's not. Okay, so most people don't understand dentistry, which means that if your site uses dental jargon, you will alienate a lot of people. Okay? And I see a lot of dental sites being guilty of this. They use these big words and these complex words to explain the procedures. And I understand that as a dentist, you totally understand what these words mean and how these procedures go. But your average patient will not. They'll be clueless. So please make it extremely simple for everyone to understand what you are saying. Add 2 to 3 simple videos of different procedures on the website so people can visualize what they're coming in for. Use small words. Use easy English. Okay? Get someone to rewrite your entire website if that helps. All right? Element number 5. Implement a multi-channel marketing approach. This is very important because the top dental offices use this strategy to dominate their city. And I mean dominate it. Okay? So here's what you probably are doing currently. You're running some Google AdWords ads. You're sending out postcards every month or every 3 months. You are relying on referrals. You are doing some radio ads. You have listed the office on Yellow Pages, Yelp, etc., etc. Most of these strategies are old, and they used to be really effective 5 or 10 years down the road, right? But they aren't showing you good results, most probably because everyone is doing it. You can be sure that most, if not all, your competitors in your city are using the exact same approach, and that's why you come across as just another dental office when you use these strategies. Okay, now the top dental offices do this to dominate their competition. First of all, they have a professionally built website. Okay, they build their website professionally. It looks as if a professional website building company has gone ahead and created a masterpiece for this particular dental office. Okay, they have lots of positive reviews on Google, so they don't even have to market that actively anymore. Their positive reviews speak for themselves. They use Facebook ads to bring in people, but they only show the ads to the right audience. And for most dental offices, the audience will be women with children, because women make most, if not all, the health-related decisions in a household. They use Google AdWords, but they track costs and revenue. Okay, most dentists don't do this. They use Bing ads, which gets them cheaper traffic, and it's a gold mine. So I would suggest that you try it out as well. They use retargeting. Retargeting is when someone lands on your dental website and your ads or your offers, they follow them around on the web or on Facebook. Retargeting is totally legal. You're just giving your prospect many other chances to come in for treatment or to call in or whatever it might be. Okay, I would suggest using retargeting for your dental practice. You'd be surprised at the results. The top dental practices get new patients in the door at a small cost. 50% off teeth whitening, free implant consult, free Invisalign consult, all this stuff. They found a way to maximize the patient's lifetime value. We already discussed this. They don't look at the transactional value. They always look at the lifetime value. They have email newsletters going out, which allows them to stay in front of people and to build their authority and trust. They create case studies, both video and text. They showcase testimonials, all this stuff. Okay, once again, if you want to be at the top of your city and double or triple your income, you have to be willing to implement all these strategies. Okay, if you don't, then I guess you won't see good results. So that said, let's move on to marketing funnels. Okay, remember we're talking about implementing a multi-channel marketing approach. So the first thing to understand is that you need to run marketing funnels instead of just running ads. And I can almost guarantee you that right now, most, if not all, your marketing money budget is spent on running ads. Okay, the top dental offices run marketing funnels and not just ads. There is a huge difference between the two. Okay, let's go through an example of a marketing funnel. For example, you advertise a free dental exam and it's $87 in value. People click on the ad and they enter their information, request a call back, and around 3 to 10% of them will come in for a free exam as you advertised. Now you check them out, you see some issues, you prescribe some treatments, and then some of these people will book another appointment and come in for treatment. That's where they pay you. And then you have systems implemented which keep bringing these people in over and over for the next 7 to 30 or 40 years. That's how the top dental offices make money. Okay? Let's go through another example. You offer a free 30-minute implant consult. Okay, the consult happens, people actually come in, and then you prescribe treatment. The patient books another appointment, and that's when they come in for the treatment and they pay you, right? And systems work to keep bringing these patients back for years to come, right? Once again, this is where most of the money is made. In any business, Not a lot of money is made at the front end. I see a lot of business owners being guilty of this. They try to maximize the revenue that they generate on the front end. This almost never happens, and then they stop marketing. They say that, well, the marketing is not working. Well, it is working because any experienced marketing company owner or business owner can tell you that it's the lifetime value of the patient that counts, which means that you will make most, if not all, of your money at the back end. Okay, so this is why we do things the way we do. We set up marketing funnels for our clients, fully knowing that they won't make a lot of money on the front end, and that's okay, because that same person will keep coming in and refer people to them for the next 7 to 30 years. Okay, so let's take a look at how a marketing funnel looks like in action. So this is WRDC, Wrightsboro Road Dental Clinic, and they're in Augusta. And this is one of the ads, a small part of a pretty big campaign that we're running for them, and it is for a 50% off teeth whitening session, right? And in the ad, we just say, well, we're offering 50% off. Click the button below to claim your session. We have limited appointments available, so it's first come, first serve. And when someone clicks on this ad, they get taken to this page. Okay, it has their branding on it. We ask them to fill out a form, first name, email address, phone number, all the stuff, and click the button below to get 50% off. Pretty simple, right? When they enter their information, they get taken to this thank you page, and we just thank them for signing up, but we tell them what to do. We tell them to call the number here and to give them this code and then come in for the appointment, right? And this is a list of the people who signed up, a very small list of the people who signed up for this offer. I just wanted to show you the different kinds of people signing up to actually come in for the 50% teeth whitening offer. But here's the thing, and I personally think this is worth mentioning again and again. Even though we're telling these people to call the dental office, most of them will not, because people are busy and they're forgetful. So whenever a lead is generated, our system sends emails that lead directly to your front desk. They get an alert, and if they call this person back within the first 5 minutes, they will see good results. Okay, remember, as a service provider, it is your job to call leads, not the lead to call you. You will see 10 times better results if it is your front desk which is actively calling people back who have shown interest. Okay, so yeah, once again in this Google Sheets, first of all, this Google Sheet keeps getting updated whenever a new lead is generated, and the dentist has access to this entire sheet, so the front desk can call them back. And whenever someone signs up, this is a part of our system. The first email that we send this person is sent immediately, right? And it says that thank you for booking this session, but honestly, you're not booked in yet because you haven't called us and reserved booked your appointment. So the first email reminds them to do that, and then we send out another email number 2 days after, reminding them to call our dental office. Okay, this is how you build upon the patient journey. You have to stay on top of your game, guys. Okay, if you want to increase your revenue, you should be willing to get all of this done. Now, here is a visual of the numbers. And once again, it's a very small part of one of the campaigns that we're running for WRDC. So as you can see, we spent around $503. And the cost per conversion at the bottom is $5.3. And we've had 95 conversions till now, which means that it is the people who have shown interest, 95 in total. And when I was recording this, 17 out of the 95 have become patients, which means that they came in for teeth whitening. And because it was 50% off, they paid $105 when they came in, and the revenue generated was around around $1,800. The cost for the ads was $503. Now, I can tell you from experience that this is a very profitable campaign, but you might be thinking, well, it's just $1,700. That's not a lot of money. And if you look at it that way, yes, you're right. It's not a lot of money. But what we're trying to do is get someone in once so they can trust you. And if you have systems in place, that person will keep coming in for 7 to 30 or 40 years. I keep on repeating it because it's so important. All right. Okay. So let's go forward. You probably are also thinking, won't I lose money if I offer stuff for free? Right? You might be. The honest thing is that many dentists don't want to offer anything at a discount or for free because they say that it's going to invite the wrong kinds of people in. And that would be the case if you didn't know your number and if you didn't have systems working for you. All right? If you have these things, two things working for you, you will make money and you will not get the wrong kinds of people in. Also, the law of reciprocity, right? Whenever you do a favor for someone, they're going to return the favor. It's very simple. So please don't worry about this. The idea, once again, is to get people in through the door for something for free or something which is 50% off, anything which gives them value and gives them an excuse and a reason to come in and meet you in person. Okay? You might even have something for a free dental checkup for kids under 5 or under 7, okay, or anything similar. Or if you don't want to offer anything for free, you don't have to. You're not obligated to do that. It is just one of the angles that we take for some of our clients, okay? You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but you'll see much better results if you can get people to come in because they think it's a good deal. And trust me, you're going to recover your cost very soon if you do things the right way. Okay. All right. Let's go on to the next slide. And here are the 3 major marketing channels you should be using if you want to dominate the city. The first is Facebook ads. The second is Google AdWords. And the third is Bing ads. Now, let's go through them one by one. Facebook ads is by far the best platform. Okay, I personally use it a lot of times, most of the times, in fact, for dentists and even for my own businesses and for other clients as well, simply because you can target people by age, gender, location, net worth, behaviors. You can really target your ideal audience. Okay. The sad part is that most dental offices don't use Facebook ads, and if they do, they don't set them up the right way, and then they lose money, and then they just stop marketing altogether and they just rely on referrals. Okay. The good thing is that there is a lot less competition if you use the Facebook advertising platform for local campaigns, and you as a dentist, you are a local service provider unless you're doing something totally different, right? Another good thing about Facebook ads is that they can go viral, which means you can make a lot of money. You can bring in a lot more patients if you do things the right way. And I'll discuss this in other videos as well. So how do you create a successful Facebook ad? The idea here is to intrigue people, okay? People on Facebook are not looking to buy something. They're just looking to see what's going on around the world. They want to catch up with their friends and their family, or they're simply bored. Right? Most people who use Facebook are bored. They just want to go online and see what's up, what's happening, right? So you can't get all salesy on Facebook and make the ad work. I see a lot of people being guilty of that. Okay? You have to intrigue people in order to take action. And you do this by saying something like, fill out this 30-second quiz to see if your oral health needs attention, right? See how it benefits the person to know how good their oral health is, or whether they should know they should get to do something about it. For someone who is just browsing Facebook, just going through Facebook, they'll see a lot of value here. Please use neutral language on Facebook and you'll see really good results. Next is Google AdWords. Most dental offices use Google AdWords, but they set it up the wrong way. They're not tracking their costs. They're not tracking their ROI. In some cases, they're spending $10,000 to $20,000 a month on Google AdWords, and they're wasting most of the money because they're not tracking it, okay? Because it's not set up the right way. So the first thing to understand is that if you're not using Google, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Google is by far the biggest search engine, and almost everyone uses Google, okay? People are actively looking for products or services and dentists on Google, so you should be advertising there. The costs to advertise are really high, unfortunately, because once again, if you remember, every other dental office is advertising on Google, but that's okay. It can still work if you have a strategy, and we implement all of this for our clients. And then you have limited spots available on Google, okay, which results in intense competition. Depending on where your practice is located, you could pay anywhere between $6 to $45 per click, not per patient, per click. Okay, but you can still make it work. All right, if you know the numbers, and if you work with us, you don't have to know the numbers because we'll track everything for you. So how do you create a successful Google AdWords ad? You create to-the-point ads with calls to action. You send people to treatment-specific page on your website. Almost every single ad I see on Google by dental offices, those ads, they send the people to the homepage of the website, and that's a very good way to lose money. Your ad should talk about that specific treatment and should send the person to that specific treatment page. I cannot overemphasize this. This is really important. And once again, I have to say it, track ad spend and ROI. Okay? Bing ads. Now, most people don't even know about Bing ads. And this is an opportunity for you as a practice, as the dental practice owner. Dentists almost never use this platform, okay, in my experience. And the good thing is that Bing ads is very similar to Google AdWords, but is a lot less competitive because, once again, people don't know about it. So you can pay, you're more likely to pay $4 to $9 per click. See how affordable it is compared to Google AdWords? Because, once again, people don't know about it. So how do you create a winning ad on Bing? You just create to-the-point ads because, once again, the space is limited, and you send people to treatment-specific pages on the website, and you track costs and ROI. Very similar to Google AdWords. Okay? Please understand, if you want to dominate your city, if you want to double your revenue, you should be using all these 3 platforms. Okay? And you should be willing to do some trial and error. And we do, see, once again, we do all of this for our clients, but you might want to implement all of this for your own, and that's totally fine. That's why I'm giving you this information. So if you want to go that route, you can do it. You can implement everything by getting your staff to do it. All right. So the money is in your database and also in your list. See, dental offices usually have 1,500 plus active patients in their database. Well, some dental offices which are new might have 500 or 600, but generally they have around 1,500 patients in their database. The problem is that they almost never follow up with these people. Okay, and calling someone up every 6 months is a standard procedure. I wouldn't really say that you're following up with them. Okay, every dental office does that. You can do a whole lot more to bring in more money, apart from just calling them every 6 months. So most practices don't send out an email newsletter. You're losing a lot of money if you don't have an automated newsletter, which gets sent out through email every 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. And the potential money leak here is huge because once you start using an email newsletter, you'll see really good results. So how do you set up an email newsletter? You can use an autoresponder service like Aweber to upload your patient emails, and not just their emails, but their details onto this platform, and program it to send it out once every 2 to 4 emails. You're just educating the patients in those emails. You're telling them about oral hygiene, and sometimes you're asking them to come in for an appointment. Assuming you have 1,500 patients in your database, at least one of them will come in because of you using this email newsletter every single month. Okay, and this is a very conservative number, by the way. All right, once again, we set all of this up for our clients because it could get a little technical setting this up the right way, so we do everything for the clients. Here's an example of an email newsletter. We just say hello. We know that lots of people don't like going to the dentist, and you shouldn't be afraid of going to the dentist. And we have options which we can use to reduce your anxiety, make you feel relaxed, etc., etc., etc. Can you see how short of an email this is? And at the end of the email, we say, please give us a call, right? This is how you educate your patients, generate interest, and get a lot of callbacks. Okay? You're not selling anything to them in the email newsletter. You're just educating them. And the email does not have to be long at all, but it needs to be there because people need to consistently hear from you in order to deem you as an authority. And if you're thinking, well, this is going to tick people off or they're going to get upset with it, no, they won't. They trust you enough to come into your office and they would like to hear from you, especially if it benefits them, right? It is benefiting them because you're telling them how to improve their oral health. And anyone who does not like your emails can unsubscribe by clicking on the link at the bottom of each email, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. Okay, I'm telling you that if you're not using an email newsletter, you're losing a lot of money. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. All right. So let's move on to retargeting. Once again, retargeting is when someone lands on your dental website and your ads or your offers start following you. So for example, I go to your dental office's website. Okay, I look around. Then I forget to call in or leave my information, and then I keep seeing these ads from you automatically saying that you went to our website but you didn't call us for a consult, or you didn't call in. Would you like to do that right now? So said another way, your ads that I keep on seeing remind me to call this dental office, to call you. You would be shocked at how well this works when it is set up properly. 97% of dental offices don't use it. Okay? This is a very sophisticated system that you should be putting in place in order to maximize your revenue. Okay? Because it gives your prospect multiple chances to call in or buy or come in for treatment or whatever it is. You need 7 to 12 touches with the prospect in order to get them to buy. We discussed this a little while ago, right? Most practices have only one touch. For example, someone lands on the dental office's website, that's it. And they're gone. Most of them are gone. They even forget where they went. Okay? This is how you bring people in using retargeting. We set this up for our clients. And this is an example of a retargeting ad which gets shown to dentists who have shown interest in what we do, which is implement systems for dental offices in order to increase their revenue, right? So in this ad, I just say, why did you go back? I introduce myself and I say, well, I see that you checked out my offer. You have shown interest, but maybe something came along and it took your attention away. So why don't you click on the sign up link and sign up for a consult with me? See how simple it is? This is a Facebook retargeting ad and it has shown me good results. I would suggest using retargeting for your own practice as well. All right, let's move on to the next section, which talks about how your front desk should follow up with prospects and patients. Now, your front desk should follow up the right way. 80% of the time, they're not following up the right way, okay? They're writing stuff down on sticky notes or in Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. Frankly, that's not the most sophisticated way to go about it, right? So they need to have a system which takes care of these follow-up procedures. So the first thing to understand is that your front desk should use multiple channels of communication: phone, voicemail, text, email. Please understand that some people hate answering their phone. And this could be a good chunk of people, right? A good percentage of people. Normally what the front desk does is they call someone and they leave a voicemail and then they're done with it. They're like, well, the person wasn't interested or they didn't call back. I didn't hear from them, so let's leave them alone. No, you shouldn't be doing that because you're losing money. A good way would be to call them, follow up with them multiple times, okay? Because that person has specifically asked you to call them back by leaving their information on your website, or via email or wherever they have left it. So the standard procedure to see really good results is, first of all, get the front desk to call the lead within the first 5 minutes. This is very important. If you don't do this, you'll still see results. You will see results, but you will see a huge difference if you decide to do this. Okay. Now, if you're getting leads during the night, obviously you can't call them back in 5 minutes. But then your front desk should call that lead first thing in the morning. Okay. Remember, if they don't answer, leave a voicemail and text. Some people don't answer their calls. Some people don't even check their voice messages, but they will almost always check their texts. Okay? Then email them. Okay? And if they still don't answer, call them again in 1 to 2 days. Do you see where I'm going with this? Right? That's how simple it is. This is what a successful dental office does in terms of its follow-up strategy. Anyone who has requested more information from you will not get upset that you called them too many times. They're the ones who wanted more information. It would be out of integrity for you to call them once and then just leave them alone if they don't answer. Right? Okay. Sending out postcards. Now, many dental offices do this, okay, and this is a strategy which used to work really well, and it probably still does, but the results aren't exactly the same, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me on that. But postcards work, once again, but just not that well, because consumers keep getting junk mail. Everyone sends them junk mail, okay, physical mail. Credit card companies, financial institutions, furniture providers, all these businesses, okay? So that's why most people don't respond to postcards, because they're physical mail. They think of it as junk mail. So here's the issue. Most dental offices use the same offer in their postcards for years, and that's why they stop getting good results. You need to rotate your offers. You need to use different colors and images in order to see what works really well, okay? The most important thing to take away from this slide is to give your prospects a different phone number to call with each different offer that you send out in a postcard, right? That's how you will be able to track it, only when you give them a separate phone number to call back on. And you can easily get phone numbers at callrail.com. It's very affordable. Okay? And once you run it for a couple of months, for 3 to 6 months, you run different offers through postcards, you will see which ones get the most calls, because you'll be tracking it through callrail.com, and then you keep running the winners and stop running campaigns which aren't showing you the money. Okay, so we're finally done with element number 5. I talked a lot about implementing a multi-channel marketing approach. Yes, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some investment, but the results are really good. Let's move on to element number 6, which is spending more time on what is making you the most money. Okay, first thing to understand is that you should figure out who your ideal patient is, and your ideal patient is not on Groupon. Okay, okay. Contrary to what you might believe, anyone with the mentality of saving 20 or 50 bucks on a procedure is probably not your ideal patient. You wouldn't want to deal with them anyway. Your ideal patient will pay you 20 to 30% more for good care and experience. I always tell dentists, don't reduce your prices. Increase your prices by 20 to 30%, but give them more value. Okay? Use towerdata.com to get more info on people in your database. Okay? When you use this platform, when you upload your patient database into Tower Data, it will tell you where your patient's location is, what age group they are from, what gender they are, what their net worth is, what their income is, which industry they work in. All this data allows you to really understand who your ideal patient is and how much they can afford to pay you. Okay. And by the way, towerdata.com is a really secure platform, so don't worry about like your information getting shared on other websites when you decide to upload it. Your patient database is totally safe if you upload it into this platform. So yes, you need to really understand who your patients are in order for you to treat them well, okay? And to only treat your ideal patient. So after you do that, you should see which treatment contributes the most revenue to you. Chances are it'll be the specialized treatments which don't take a lot of your time and make you more money as opposed to regular teeth whitening sessions or regular dental checkups, right? But then again, I don't know. Every dental office is different. The idea here is to spend more time on what is making you the most money. Okay? You could work 6 or 8 hours a day, and you can work really hard, but if the treatments, if the people who are coming in are taking a lot of your time and aren't paying you enough, then at the end of the day, you'll be exhausted and you will be nowhere close to your goal. So it's very important to understand this aspect of your practice, okay? Start offering the treatment which contributes the most revenue to you, to more people, and cut down on others. Now, you might not be able to cut down dramatically on this, but over the long term, in 2 to 5 years, you can think about what the best treatment is for you from a business owner point of view, and try to get more patients to come in for that treatment. We help our clients with this as well, with determining this as well. Okay. All right, so that was the end of element 6. I know I didn't take a lot of time to discuss this with you, but it doesn't mean that this is not important, okay? If you do this properly, if you find out who your ideal patient is, and if you start offering, getting more patients in for the treatments which bring in the most revenue to you, trust me, you're going to dramatically increase your revenue, all right? Okay, element number 7, become the #1 expert in your niche. This is, I'm sure you can understand how important this is. In order for you to live your ideal lifestyle, you have to be perceived as someone who is important, someone who is an expert, okay? Because it is only then when people will pay you the premium in order to make you more money, all right? So first of all, perception is everything. How you come across has a huge impact on how people will view you, right? So if you have a shabby website, which looks as if it was designed in 1998, it takes away from your credibility and from your authority. Please understand that. You have to look the part if you want to charge more money. And you will charge more money if it seems as if you have authority and recognition, if you're sought after. Once again, don't lower your prices. Increase them by 20 to 30%, but provide your patients more value. Okay, this is how you differentiate yourself. This is how you get expert status. You don't get expert status by reducing your price to match your competition. If you compete directly with your competition, then you come across as just another dental office. I see a lot of dental offices guilty of this. Okay, please don't do that. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot when you do this. Tell people you are the best, but provide proof and back it up, okay? On your website, you should have case studies and testimonials and all this stuff which shows people that you're the best, okay? You should get other people raving for you. They should be happy with the treatment that they received when they came to you. Stay in front of people using email newsletters, retargeting, follow-ups, all this stuff. Every single top dental office has created a follow-up sequence which is very effective. Okay, you have to stay in front of your prospects or they will forget you. Remember, there are lots of dental offices in every city, and unless you have found a way to stay in the limelight, people will forget about you. So this is really important. Once again, your website should look professional and be easy to understand. You should create case studies, testimonials, all that stuff. But more importantly, you should create a brand which over time becomes known for something unique. Really good patient care, weekend treatments, same day implants or crowns or whatever it is, okay? Like really good experience positive experience, pain-free procedures, all that stuff. You have to create a brand, and you have to actively market that brand to people who want to learn more about you. You should be managing your Facebook page effectively to educate. Okay? And this doesn't mean putting up one post 3 weeks, every 3 weeks. You should actually have if formulated a decent social media strategy which engages people, which keeps them coming back, which makes them see you as an authority. We do this for our clients so they don't have to. Okay? You should create high quality blog posts. The same principle goes here as well. We do this for our clients as well. People need to hear from you and see what you are all about in order for them to think of you as an authority. In my opinion, less than 5% of dentists do that. Okay? And finally, you should have an email newsletter series. I already talked about that. So if we really dive deep into this, you should have educational videos, you should have testimonial videos, Facebook Live, blogs, articles, white papers, free reports, ebooks. If you write a book and you give it out to patients, I guarantee that they will think of you as an authority and you will have more clout with them. Whenever you prescribe a treatment to them, the chances that they actually go for that treatment and spend money with you goes up considerably. Okay? You should do some, you should get interviewed on local TV. You should get some radio ads going. You should do some direct mail. You should, once again, write a book. I just talked about it. Yes, you need to do all of this in order to come across as an authority if you want to stay at the top of your city and make a lot more money. Okay? So, how to prove you are the best? First of all, help people visualize how you have helped others. If you are really good at what you do, but if you don't show it to people, they will have no idea. People need to visualize. Okay? Create video interviews with people, with patients you have delighted. I'm sure in your practice, in all these years, you have at least 3 or 5 patients who were stunned by how professional you were and how much you helped them out. Get them to do an interview with you, but don't just record the testimonials. Record the entire patient story and put it on your website, on your newsletters, in retargeting, everywhere. Ask your patient how they felt before coming in, what you did to help them out, how much the procedure cost, how much time did it take, how much pain did it cause, how delighted the patient was at the end, and how do they feel now after the treatment is done. Make an entire story out of it. It works a lot better than creating testimonials. Trust me, there's a big difference. And finally, give it a professional feel. Once again, perception is everything. So if you come across as, if you use your iPhone to get someone to record the interview with your patient, that works as well. It works, but it just doesn't have the same flavor and professionalism to getting a video production company to your dental office, paying them $2,000 to $3,000 for 2 hours of their time and getting them to professionally record everything for you. Okay? And yeah, here are some examples of people you can do an interview with. Someone who has a severe toothache and came in without calling you, and you were able to help him right there and then. Do you think this person would be delighted and would be a good interview candidate? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can guarantee that they would be happy with the result. Someone who had crooked teeth and had low self-esteem, and you helped them recover their beautiful smile with an Invisalign treatment. Do you think they would be happy? I can guarantee that they would be happy. And they would, they would love to come in for an interview and help you bring in more patients for your dental office, right? Remember, seeing is believing. You have to show it to your patients, to your prospects. Perception is key. And don't rely on Google reviews alone, okay? Some people will check out Google reviews. Other people will actually come to your website and would like to visualize. They would want to visualize what you do and how you help people out. When they see you in front of a camera, you appear more human. They trust you more. Rapport is developed even without them talking to you, right? So please do all of this stuff and create entire stories out of your patient's treatments. I already talked about that. People buy on emotion and not logic. When you create stories, when you help them visualize what they will be getting, their emotions will kick in and they'll be more likely to call in and say, I want this treatment because I saw this story on your website and people were really delighted. Like, I saw other people really happy with what you did for them. I am confident you can do the same for me. I'm coming in for treatment. Okay, that's how it happens. All right, how to close more patients. When your front desk calls the prospect, please don't ask them to come in for an appointment. Okay, every dental office does this. It's very bland. It doesn't add a lot of value. It makes you come across as just another dentist. Okay, instead your front desk should ask them what the issue is, just to see if they can even help. All right, when that person actually comes in, you should do the same thing. Ask that person what is the problem, how urgently they'd like to take care of the problem, how is it affecting them personally, both physically and emotionally. Okay, get to know the person. In some cases, that the person you ask these questions to will be taken aback by how much you care, that they will be emotionally invested in getting the treatment done with you. Not a lot of dentists and not a lot of staff does this. Okay, keep the patient involved. This goes directly in line with what I just mentioned. And finally, don't offer too many options. And don't get too many people talking to them about what they should go with. I've seen this happening sometimes, okay? A patient comes in, someone comes in, they'd like to go with the treatment, and then they're given so many different options, and then they say, well, I'll think about it, and then they go away because you overwhelmed them with choices. Remember, people don't understand dentistry, okay? They want to come in and they want to resolve their problem, and that's all they care about. So please make it easy for them to do that, okay? How to get lots of referrals. Firstly, you should be closing 70 to 80% of people you get through referrals, because referrals come from a trusted source. So if you aren't signing up 7 to 8 out of every 10 people who come in through referrals, you're doing something wrong. And we can improve something here. So generally, dentists, and this might not be the same for your dental office, but generally how dentists get referral is whenever someone new comes in, they either have some referral forms on the front desk, or they tell the front desk to hand these out for people who would like to bring their family members in. Now, a really good way of bringing in referrals is to just ask a new patient, do you know of any family members or friends who can benefit from coming in? It's a very simple question. This person does not need to have gone through tons of treatments in your dental office for them to refer other people to you. In fact, this works really well even if you get brand new prospects who've just come into your dental office and even have not received a treatment. Okay, that's how simple it is. Ask them, do you know of any family members or friends who can benefit from a free dental exam, or a 50% off teeth whitening, or who would just like to come in and visit a dentist? That's all you have to do. But instead of just handing out a new patient form, a referral form to them, you get the information of these family members or friends from the person who actually came in, and then you call them within the next hour. As a service provider, you should be doing all the hard work. Okay, you should be getting people in. All right, and as a practice owner, it will work really well for you if you can incentivize the front desk to keep asking for referrals. Okay, give them a gift card or a paid leave or whatever it might be in order to incentivize this. So once again, whenever a new patient comes in, or even when someone who's been coming in for a long time, whenever they come in, just get your front desk to ask them, do you have any family members or friends who can benefit from coming in? See how simple it is? I can guarantee that this is going to get you a lot more referrals instead of you going a passive approach to bringing people in. Okay, how to get lots of positive reviews on Google. Okay, this is worth a lot for your dental office. Because if you get this right, you'll dominate the entire city. First of all, people only go to dentists they trust. You already know that. What you might not know is that if you get over 250 positive Google reviews, you will dominate your entire city. Once you get to such a point, Google will help you bring in more patients. And by positive reviews, I mean an average rating of over 4.5 out of 5. This is really important. So currently you might have only 10 or 20 or 30 reviews. How do you go all the way from that number to 250? It sounds daunting, right? Well, it's pretty easy. Here's how you do it. Whenever someone comes in, they get their treatment, even if it is a free dental exam and they haven't paid you a cent, as long as they have come in and they have experienced something, they can review you, okay? Because they have enough information to review you, right? So when they're about to leave, your front desk just gives them a handwritten note saying, thanks for coming in. Please take 2 minutes to review us on this link. That's it. Then your front desk should follow up with these people in 1 to 2 days with a call, a voicemail, and a text. That's how simple it is. Remember, if you hand out the handwritten note, it'll work firstly because it's personalized and people like a personal touch. But still, most people will not leave you a review because people forget and they need to be reminded constantly. That's why you follow up with them in 1 to 2 days with a call, voicemail, and text. Okay? That's how simple it is. All it requires is a little bit of consistency, which means that you have to incentivize your front desk so that they can do this every single day. Okay? And the result is you'll get a lot more positive reviews much more quickly, allowing you to outrank your competition, because I can guarantee that your competition is not doing this. And when you have over 250 reviews, you will, by that time, you will have double or tripled your revenue. Please try it out. You will be surprised at how good the results are. All right. Now we're getting to the end of the presentation. We're at element number 8, which happens to be the final element, but a very important element nonetheless, which is automation. Automate, automate, automate. Okay? Your practice needs to use automation if you want to double your revenue. And this gets all the more important the higher you want to go. Automating tasks could mean any of the following. It could be providing your front desk with a checklist for standard procedures. For example, whenever someone comes in, ask them if they have friends and family to refer, right? Or it could be implementing systems which work 24 hours a day to carry out mind-numbing tasks. For example, having an email autoresponder, having an email newsletter, right? It could also mean systems which add value, right? So what to automate? The first thing, once again, because it's so important, is that when your front desk gets a lead, they should call it back within 5 minutes, okay? They should leave a voicemail and a text if no one answers, and they should follow up in 1 or 2 or 3 days with another phone call if there is no response. This is an automation. This should be done automatically without even thinking about it, okay? New patients should be added to your database to receive your email newsletter automatically. Yes, you should ask them for their permission, but they should be added. Third, when someone visits your website, they should automatically be retargeted. We take care of all of this for our clients. You don't even have to worry about this. This happens automatically. Use software which tracks where a person is in the patient journey. We do it automatically for our clients. We use the software, it tracks everything. It is an automation. The front desk should call a day before their appointment to remind them. This should be done automatically as well. Your system should text people 24 hours and 3 hours before the appointment automatically. We implement this for our clients. Once the patient has received treatment, you should give them a note asking them to review you automatically. You should follow up with this automatically. Okay? Your front desk should call people up every 3 months or 6 months to ask them if they'd like to come in for a dental checkup automatically. We have a software which tracks this for you, so you don't have to write it down on a piece of paper. Okay? So these are the most important automations. There are many others, but these are the most valuable for you. Okay? And if you put this into practice, you can increase your revenue by at least 20 to 30% in 12 months. at the very least. So, wow, we're right at the end of the presentation. Some closing thoughts. If you want to dominate your city and at least double your revenue and become the number one celebrity in your niche, then you have to use these strategies. You have to be willing to invest in your infrastructure. There aren't any two ways about it. You have to invest the time and money to get there. Okay. Statistically, only 10 to 15% of people watching this video will implement the strategies that I mentioned in the video, probably because they don't have the time or the expertise to do it themselves. So they'll think, well, I'll think about it next month, and then the next month never comes. And in the end, years down the road, they're still doing whatever they were doing and they're losing money. Okay. So please understand that getting to know these strategies is only 10% of the puzzle. Okay. 90% is implementing them every single day. Every single day. Okay. If you want to see good results, they have to be used every day, which is why you can let me know if you need any help from me. I understand that some of what I've mentioned is probably difficult for you to implement. Now, the reason why I sent you this DVD and the book is that if you want to get your staff to get all of this done, you can do it. Believe it or not, my job here, my aim here is not to have you as a client. If you want to do it yourself, by all means, please go ahead. I've already given you all the information. In fact, we're pretty selective about who we work with as a client because there are many requirements that you would have to fulfill. But if you are willing to get us to implement all of this for you, so all you have to worry about is treating patients who come in, then I'd be happy to help. And towards that, I am offering a limited number of free profit potential consultations. I've given them around a $1,500 in value. It's a 1 hour long consult on video with you, the practice owner. But honestly, I personally feel that their value is at least $3,000, probably even more, because I map out the exact path for you to double your revenue. I tell you where your money leaks are, and you're probably losing $5,000 to $20,000 every month in money leaks, depending on how successful you currently are. I show you how to maximize the lifetime value of your patients. Remember, each of your patients is worth at least $5,000 if you do things properly. And if you do decide to sign up for this consult, I have a guarantee. If you think I have wasted your time on the consult, I'll donate $500 to a charity of your choosing. Okay, that's how confident I am that even if you don't decide to go with what we mentioned, just you being on the call with us will ensure that you will know where you're losing money and what you need to do in order to double your revenue. That's simply how confident I am. So if you'd like my help, you can go to my website and book the consult. Once again, there are limited spots. It takes me a lot of time and effort to really map everything out for you. So please only do this if you're really interested in our help. And I'd be happy to help you anywhere I can. And my aim, as always, is to get you to make more money, but more importantly, to get you to live your ideal lifestyle, right? You didn't become a dentist and study so hard to be constantly stressed out. So that's where I help you. Okay. And if you think there's a lot of value to it, you can go to yasirkhan.co. It's not com, it's co. So yasirkhan.co/profit-potential-consultation. And when you click on this, it's going to take you to another page and you'll be asked to fill out 9 or 10 questions. And depending on the answers to those questions and depending on how much information you send to me, we might be able to get on a consult. And yeah, I'd be happy to map out the entire strategy for you and tell you what needs to be changed in order to double or quadruple your revenue. So I really hope you received great value out of this video. Even if you don't become a client, that's totally fine. If you'd like to get your team to implement all the strategies, by all means, go ahead. And I love hearing from people who have seen my content. It really brightens up my day if someone comes and tells me that I have been able to provide them with some insight as to how to run their business more profitably. So if you have any questions or concerns, or if you are just delighted or happy with the information I've sent your way, please contact me. Okay, and I'd be happy to respond within 1 or 2 business days. And yeah, if you like, we can take things forward from there. Thank you so much for your time in watching this video. I know you're really busy, but I really do hope I've given you a lot of value, and I will hopefully talk to you soon.